Hello, my lovelies. Elsie here to do your sneak peek for this week. How are you? I hope you're well. I'm recording this on a Tuesday. You're going to get it early on a Wednesday morning. I hope that you didn't allow the week to push you around just yet. We're almost halfway there. Welcome here. Thank you so much for showing up here. I appreciate you. I am here to do a reading for the next 7 days. So whenever you're going to get this, whether it's today, tomorrow, or next year, it's always going to be for the 7 days that are ahead of you. I've got 12 decks to my left. I'm going to read a little bit from each of those decks for all of the Zodiac signs. And I'm going to mark everything down below in the description so you can just scroll this video to find what it is that you need. If at any time those if you are a person viewing on your phone and you're not looking at the chapters, please look in the description. You can just tap whatever it is that you need in order to look at the signs that you're looking for. And if you are somebody who's watching tarot for just your sun sign, please stop. You just don't really know what's going on. Look, there's no reason except maybe that you're a little lazy, that you don't have your moon and your rising. You don't even really need your, it's good to have your exact time of birth, of course, right? But if you were born in the AM or the PM, most of the free natal charts online will ask you if you're born in the AM or the PM, and they will give you, they'll assign you a rising sign accordingly. So I hope that you'll come back and watch for all three signs. Look, I'm telling you, it makes far more sense when you're watching for at least the sun, moon, and rising, but I do read for sun, moon, rising, Venus, and Jupiter because I want to know about love and your abundance as well. So welcome here. I do this reading once a week, and I'm grateful that you're here. The only other thing that I have to tell you is about private reads, and so there are private reads that are available. I'm always adding a pinned comment. Now, whenever you're looking for information about private reads, extendeds, all of that stuff, please look at the first comment. The very first comment is the pinned comment. It's right under the video, and it gives you links to all the places that you might want to visit, whether you're purchasing an outright, purchasing a one-off extended, or whether you're deciding that you want to be in our membership group, or if you are looking for private reads. So I do readings live via phone and video, but I also do readings that are pre-recorded. So you can take that link to Hipsy and figure it all out. You can look at my prices there. So here we go. Let's figure it out. This is coming out October 1st, so happy October, friends. And yeah, this is going to be a good October. I feel it in my little psychic bones. Let's take a look at you, Aries. Sun, moon, rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Aries, you are my fire family. I am a Taurus sun, but man, I got lots of Aries. Lots of Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius in my chart. All right, let's go. Let's find out what's going on for Aries, Sun, moon, rising, Venus, and Jupiter in this Libra season. Tell me about Aries. What's coming up for the next 7 days? Tell me about Aries. Aries, we do have the Ace of Pentacles. We have the Nine of Pentacles. Something very abundant, happy. Maybe it's good health. Maybe it's about wealth. Maybe it's about the job you applied for. But Pentacles, when they come up in the nines, I'm going to say you can be pretty confident that something is coming up this week that you're going to be able to invest in, or that someone might want to invest in you. We do have the Two of Cups, and we have the Ace of Wands. So it feels like this is a bond that is deepening, whether this is a platonic or a romantic bond for you. It feels like somebody here is looking at deepening their bond with you. It could be something to do with business. It could be a business partner. It also could be somebody at your workplace who's wanting to partner with you in order to accomplish something. But it feels like it's going to take some creative energy, and that's why they're coming to you, Aries, because you are the creative one, right? You are the one who gets the job done, regardless of the criteria. If you see that there are 10 pentacles to be had here, you're the person to come to. Tell me about the Ace of Pentacles. What is this investment? It feels like something here is being planted, and somebody's coming to you very confident that you're willing to deepen the connection or deepen the bond, whether that's a work bond a platonic bond of friendship or business, possibly. Maybe it's love. Tell me about the Ace of Pentacles. We do have the Eight of Cups. We have the King of Swords, and we have the Ten of Pentacles. So we called it out here with the 9 and the 1, and the Ten of Pentacles shows up to let us know that we're on the right track. Look, I feel like there is an opportunity. Something here is going to be offered to you. For some of you, it is a job, because to me, the King of Swords is somebody who does the hiring and the firing. This is the person who has the last word. This is the person of interest, who is the one who is going to make the final decision. So it does feel like you might be detaching or moving away from another position, another job, in order to be able to go to something that's far more lucrative. We do have the 10 Pentacles here. So this could be... yeah, it does feel like it is something to do with money, house, home. Maybe it's an upgrade of some sort. Maybe it's a promotion, or there's more money to be had here, or it could be a new job altogether because of the King of Swords. But it does feel like with the Eight of Cups, I think that you're deciding to leave somewhere because you felt like you were kind of settling for it. So whatever we're talking about, it feels like you're onto something new, and that you're no longer emotionally settling for things that don't do this, that don't put a fire in your belly. So I feel like this opportunity is really exciting. It's a new one. It's an opportunity to do something that you've always wanted to do. A very exciting opportunity. We've got the Three of Wands, which is kind of cool because that's all about the expansion. Something here is opening up into the future. This is a future opportunity that is going to be for the next 10 years. I mean, it could be longer. The 10 of Pentacles is long-term, solid, steady, sturdy. This could also be something about getting a clean bill of health. Pentacles aren't always just about money. It's about health, wealth, and it can be about money, but it can be also about feeling better. We do have the Judgment card, and we have the 10 of Wands. It feels like it's going to be a hard decision. I'm just going to say, you have been thinking about this for a while, and I think that you're keeping it under wraps. I don't think you're telling anybody. I think that you're aware of the opportunity, that it's probably coming, or maybe it's already been offered to you. For some of you, it may not be offered for the next 7 days, possibly, but it feels like when it does come to you, it's not a really easy decision. I'm just going to say the Judgment card is here, but the 10 of Wands is here. It tells me that there's something here that's weighing heavy on your mind, and it's a judgment. So I feel like if you decide to walk away from whatever it is that you're doing right now and move toward the future, because the doors are opening, the adventure is here, and it's time for you to move forward. It feels like that it is a heavy decision. It feels like it's a decision that you have to make because the Judgment card is here. It's going to cause a rebirth. It's going to cause something to be very happy, exciting, exhilarating. It feels like you just want to leap, but I don't think you're doing it without all of the information. When the Fool is upright, it's about the chapter that's beginning. It's brand new. It's exhilarating and fun and exciting, and it's transformational. But I feel like you're, with all these pentacles here, I feel like you know what you're getting yourself into. Tell me what the outcome is here, please. Give me an outcome for Aries, which is the 10 of Swords, the Emperor. Well, there we go. And the Chariot. Look, I feel like you've worked really hard for this. The Chariot's a lot of discipline. The discipline takes you to victory and to success. It's the balancing of your masculine and feminine energies. It's the discipline that you've put in to become the Emperor. I feel like somebody here is either leaving their place of business, like a place that you may have worked for a corporation, and you are going to open your own business that you know is going to thrive because you already have partnership. I feel like your confidence is kind of through the roof, that when you invest here, it's going to quickly grow. It's going to escalate quickly here in the best way. But the 10 of Swords here tells me that it doesn't come without its heaviness, because the 10 of Wands is here as well, right? So it feels like it's bittersweet a little bit that the 10 of Swords is here, and when you leave from where you're going from, I would say, whenever you leave wherever you're detaching from, there's going to be people in your midst who see you as someone who is betraying their trust, betraying them as a friend. It feels like you make really good, tight friendships wherever you go. And I feel like you have outgrown the position that you're in right now, whether that's a long-term relationship or whatever it is, a business. Maybe you're switching up business partners or going into a different business, but I feel like you're now the emperor and you're keeping it all together. Silent and quiet, stable and sturdy. I feel like you're not really telling anybody about this until it actually roots itself and begins to grow. Tell me what's around the corner, but I think you're going, because I feel like you've outgrown the vibration that you've been spending most of your time in. And that could be, like I said, a long-term relationship. It could be a long-term friendship. Whatever it is, you are deepening a bond elsewhere. And it's time to take the leap and go all in here. But you've got to let go of something. And something is weighing heavy on you because this decision is big. Tell me what's around the corner. We have the Eight of Wands. You're going to do it. Yep. And I feel like you're going to do it soon. Maybe in the next 8 weeks or so for some of you. For some of you, it's going to be in the next 7 days. But listen, we're not all here in the next 7 days. This isn't going to resonate for everybody because we're not all learning at the same pace, right? So for some of you, it's going to be in the next 8 days, 8 weeks possibly. We've got the Six of Cups and we've got the Devil energy here. It does feel to me like you have made some really great friendships. Maybe some of these friendships you have feel like family. It feels like you have made some really good connections here, but I also feel like you know that it's time to fly. It's time to get your balance elsewhere. And I think that some people are going to see you as someone who, oh, well, Aries didn't really care about us then anyway, did he? Or did she? Right? I feel like that's the way some people are going to feel here. You're going to heal from it. You always do. But I feel like somebody here, maybe even a group of people, are going to feel like you're deceiving them, or you've deceived them or lied to them about how you felt about them. But I feel like it's time for you to get into the chariot and go. It's time for you to go to the next thing. I feel like you have outgrown whatever this is. We've got the moon energy here. Look, I feel like maybe you don't even have all the details. Things are not as they seem. And I feel as though this is the best move for you because we do have the Wheel of Fortune here. You are listening, Aries, and you think that this is all your idea, but I think you're following along. I think that you're riding shotgun and you're listening through one ear and you're doing exactly what the universe wants you to do. I feel like you didn't do this in haste. You took a pause. You looked at it with perspective and realized there was going to have to be some sacrifices that you're going to make here. But I feel like here's the kicker, right? Is like the new cycle is here, and when the Wheel of Fortune is here, you cannot fight the Wheel of Fortune. It's dragging you forward kicking and screaming. So I think you're not going kicking and screaming. I think that you're going with the best attitude, but I think there's going to be people in your life who are not happy with you. Got Capricorn, got Aries energy here, Virgo and Pisces. We've got Taurus energy here. We've got Libra, Gemini, Aquarius, Cancer, Aries. Pisces and Cancer, Scorpio, Taurus, Aquarius, Leo, and Sagittarius. All right. Taurus. Let's find out what's going on for Taurus. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. How are you, my bull gang? Hope you're well. Thanks so much for clicking here. Let me just get a little bit of tea. Look, my boy came home sick from work. And now I'm starting to feel a little bit scratchy. So, got some tea at the ready here. All right. Let's find out what's going on for Taurus. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Taurus for the next 7 days. Whenever you get this, Taurus, next 7 days. We've got the Eight of Wands. Ooh, something is coming at you. I feel when I see this particular, like that's why I love all the different decks because they all give me different feels. This particular one tells me you're not expecting this because look at all of those wands that are flying through the glass. It feels like, when we close the window, it's to keep things out. I think that there's no way that you can keep this from coming. Something is happening, and I think that it's happening soon. We've got 8 wands. It could be 8 days, 8 weeks for some of you. Wands are usually weeks for me, but we are looking at a 7-day read, so it could be 8 days, 8 weeks for you. Tell me what this is. We've got the Devil energy. We've got the Magician. And we've got the Ace of Cups. Oh boy. Well, you know what I think it is, Taurus? I think somebody has seen your worth here. I don't necessarily care for the Magician and the Devil energy being next to each other here. It gives me a little bit of, I'll do anything that I have to in order to get Taurus to see my Ace of Cups. Now, I don't necessarily know that this is a bad thing. Please don't take it as a negative connotation, because the Devil isn't always a negative connotation. It just does indicate that somebody here is maybe obsessed, has an obsessive, somebody's obsessed with you. And I think that this is something that you can't avoid. It's coming at you. It feels like somebody here who's been holding back, or maybe is nervous. Maybe they are in doubt. They feel like you don't really have any feelings for them. I feel like somebody here is sees your worth. They see how magic you are. They see that no matter what is put in front of you, you conquer it. And it's because you're very sure of yourself. I feel like you have all of the resources and tools that you need at your fingertips to do whatever you want. And somebody here has noticed that. It feels like with the Ace of Cups here that somebody sees you holding out the Ace of Cups. Taurus, I think you're holding out the Ace of Cups because the Magician's here and has all the aces up their sleeve. The Ace of Cups here, I feel like is an indication of you holding out the Ace of Cups, and I think you're attracting is what you're doing here with the Eight of Wands. You're attracting people who are, I feel like there's somebody here who feels very connected or attached to you. They're very attracted to you. It does feel like they realize that you are possibly looking for a companion or looking to fill the heart space, or that you are willing to start something new. Tell me what the Eight of Wands is here. We've got the Seven of Pentacles. This person may have been, I'm going to say, why am I doing that, Charlie? Okay, it's a shark. So someone's been circling you. And I am, is it bad though? Okay, wait, Charlie's just saying put more cards down. Hang on. Somebody's been circling you here, Taurus. Oh, it's not bad at all. The Lovers is here. Somebody's been holding back their feelings here. Somebody's been waiting for the perfect moment, reassessing the situation and watching you from a distance. Did I say this to you yesterday? I think I said this to you yesterday in your bonus read. It feels like somebody has been circling you. It feels like someone feels very connected to you. They're kind of obsessively thinking about you, and they see that you are ready because you're holding out the Ace of Cups. Now, the Magician has all four aces, right? But you've chosen the Ace of Cups. You've chosen to show the Ace of Cups here. We've got the Queen of Pentacles. So I feel like somebody here is feeling like you take really good care of yourself, or that you are somebody who's very solid and grounded, very planned and organized. At least that's maybe you're a hot mess, but this is how they see you on the outside, Taurus. They see you as somebody who is ready for union, or is very serious, I would say. The Queen of Pentacles is very serious about being planned, being solid, being grounded, being very loyal. I think they see you as a loyal companion, and I think that somebody is ready to choose you. I think that you're on the precipice of somebody coming forward and telling you about their feelings, is what it feels like here. Tell me more about Taurus. Sorry, just listening. Hang on. If it's a reassessment of a financial thing, Taurus, then I feel like they're choosing you. So it feels like maybe you've been waiting on a loan or waiting on a job. The Queen of Pentacles being here is somebody who is patient, right? Patient and waiting, is very planned, is planned with their resources. I feel like the Lovers, it could be a decision or it could be like a choice. And it feels like somebody is choosing you because they think that you're the best fit for the companionship. So this could be also a business thing because I'm looking at Pentacles, right? Just because Charlie was reminding me that the 7 Pentacles are here with the 1 in the hand of the Queen, and that's 8, so that could be workplace stuff. So for some of you, it could be that. So if you've been waiting for the job, here it comes. The 8 of Wands is here and you can't stop it. It feels like something is coming at you quite rapidly, probably very soon. We've got the 7 of Cups. And I feel like you were confused as to why there was no movement, or why things were stuck, or why it was quiet here. We do have the moon energy. See, something was going down in the background that you didn't know about. Someone was either, if we're looking at this as like a romantic read, someone was sort of, I was doing this, so I feel like they were circling you, like not in the midst of prey. Like, I don't think it's that. Sharks do circle their prey. They kind of eye it up first, right, before they go in. But I don't think that this is something that's dangerous. It doesn't feel like it's dangerous. It feels like it's something that you didn't know was happening. Because the moon energy is things are not as they seem. And maybe you were just a little bit confused about whether or not this was going to land. I feel like, because this is pre-empress energy, that whether you're feminine or masculine, I feel like you were just sort of holding your position to see what would happen next. We do have a full moon coming up on October the 4th, and we are the 30th of September as I read this, of course, moving into the 1st of October. So this could happen around the full moon. Maybe you don't see it because it's in the moon energy right now. Yeah, it feels like somebody's holding all of these feelings or emotions underneath the surface, but I think they're going to come to the surface because they see that you're ready, or that you're holding out the Ace of Cups. Look, you could be holding out the Ace of Pentacles, the Swords, or the Wands, but you're not. You're holding out the Ace of Cups, and I think that they see that you are ready emotionally for whatever they want to divulge here. So somebody here is in the process right now, what you don't see, they're in the process right now of sort of arguing with themselves, fighting with themselves, keeping a secret, keeping it under the surface, not letting you see what's going on, because they don't want you to see this part of them. They don't want you to see the Seven of Cups, where they're, I don't think this is being unsure. I think this is this person who is in analysis paralysis, because the Seven of Pentacles is here, that they keep analyzing and overanalyzing. It feels like an overthinker of some sort here. The outcome here, we have the Five of Cups, we have the Nine of Pentacles, and we have the Empress. Well, there it is. I feel like somebody here wants to change the dynamic between you and them, but I also feel like they're worried. I feel like with the Five of Cups that's here, they feel like possibly you're going to say no, or you're not interested in them, because look, they see you as the Nine of Pentacles and the Empress. They see you as a very confident Empress, whether you are the masculine or the feminine Empress. They see you as a very confident Empress, somebody who really doesn't need them. And so I think with these Seven Cups, they're trying to decide what their place in your life is and how they're going to remain confident in the energy of someone who really is already doing it all. It can be a little bit intimidating, right? I feel like this person's saying, like, with the Nine of Cups in the reverse, am I delusional? Like, am I delusional? If I do step forward, is it going to change anything? It feels like somebody is in hesitation as they circle you, and they're wondering if you are going to say yes or going to say no. But they're intimidated by, I don't know, whatever you have accomplished. So whatever you've accomplished, whatever you look like, I don't think it's just purely what you look like. It feels like it's accomplishments, and you feel sturdy and steady, and it's like you've accomplished some things, and they feel like there isn't really anything that they can give you in terms of a partnership, in terms of a job, in terms of where do we put Taurus? Like, where is Taurus going to... is Taurus like a boss? Is Taurus like middle management? Or is Taurus, we can't bring Taurus in as an associate at the bottom level. They're trying to figure out where you fit in, but they know they want to fit you in somewhere. So we do have the Two of Swords, we have the Hanged Man, and we have the Four of Wands. So it does feel like right now we're in the decision-making process. Somebody here is trying to feel you out. And that makes sense with the shark in the water, because water is emotions, and somebody is circling you. So it feels like somebody keeps looking at you online, or maybe you see them in public and they're sort of like, maybe you see them talking to the people around the outside of the room, but not really coming to you, but every once in a while to speak with you. I think they're watching you and watching how you interact with other people. The Two of Swords here is about making a really, really important decision, because if I choose this, I got to cut out that. And if I choose that, I got to cut out this. And so somebody here is looking at it from a perspective saying, you know, my intuition is telling me to do something, but I really need to figure out what that is first. How is it going to work out best, and what do I have to sacrifice in order to get stability with Taurus here, in order to be happy? Yeah, there's no way around it. This person's got to go through, and it terrifies them because they know that whatever else they're giving up, they got to burn it to the ground. They're very serious, I'm going to say, very serious about having you work for them, having you maybe run a completely different division in their business. But it could be romantic. And if it is, it feels like intimidation a little bit. We've got Scorpio energy here. We've got Pisces and Cancer, Aries, Aries, Sagittarius, Leo energy. We've got more Pisces, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. We've got Libra and Taurus, Gemini energy, Gemini and Aries energy. Taurus energy, we've got more Scorpio, Capricorn, and Sagittarian energy. Somebody really just wants to pull up. They just want to pull up and say, okay, this is it. I'm going for broke. That's what it feels like here. But it's freaking them out just a little bit. Because you intimidate them. Whatever your accomplishments are, I feel like it intimidates them a little bit. All right. Let's look at you, Gemini. Sorry, I've sort of boxed myself in here. There we go. All right, Gemini. You had a pretty wild reading yesterday. Did you blow it all up? What happened? I want to know. Tell me what's going on for Gemini. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Tell me what Gemini. For the next 7 days, Gemini, what's going on with you? Gemini, we've got the Hermit energy. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I said that at the end of the reading yesterday, that it's left you in a place where now you're sort of going over the details and trying to figure it out. I feel like you have a little bit of, now look, I think that you have a little bit of remorse for what you said, but I don't think that you should. I think that you are going to relive it and go over it, but I think that you are... I think that you're almost coming to a place where you're in agreement with yourself. Like, yep, I had to say it. I had to shed light on the subject here. And I had to give everybody the details because they were way off on what they thought was going on. We've got the Six of Wands. I think that you brought attention or light to yourself. Some people didn't like that. We've got the Ace of Pentacles and the Temperance card. You're going to heal from this. I feel like this Hermit energy tells me that right now you are by yourself, looking over yourself. It's like you're putting yourself through the ringer. Look, Virgo's not really kind to themselves a lot. They really are the hardest on themselves, and sometimes that can appear like them being hard on people around them. But I feel like right now it doesn't feel like any sort of self-loathing, but it feels like that the Hermit energy is you trying to find your light. Saying to yourself, look, you did it for the right reason. I think you're trying to talk yourself into it, that you brought a spotlight to something here. It feels like you stood up and said something, you brought a spotlight to something, and I think that it landed with some people like the beginning of something. It's like finally the lie is out, finally it came to light, finally we brought attention to it, and now we can plant the pentacle, now we can invest in the daylight. We can see with the light here and the spotlight for the Six of Wands, it feels like, I think I said yesterday, it felt like your head was going to explode. This feels like a continuation of that. I think that you're going to heal. Look, you're going to get your balance. I feel like you probably think you delivered everything in a really harsh way, whatever you said, whatever you did, whatever the situation was. But I feel like you did it in the best way possible, in a very balanced way. And maybe you're hard on yourself, and so you don't think that you did it in a very balanced way, or that you're going to do it in a very balanced way, for those of you who haven't done it yet. We've got the Two of Swords, but it was a decision that you had to make because you knew that there was a new chapter that was beginning here. Excuse me. And you needed harmony. It was, I really do feel like Gemini, I've said this to you before 150 million times probably, but I always see Gemini as the freedom fighter. And really, whatever's in your rising, whatever's in your moon, depends what kind of Gemini you are. And not all are created equal, and some of them are really quite fucking irritating. But I'm going to say that the ones who are disciplined, the ones who are healed, the ones who really do go in and look over the self, the ones who are always measuring themselves, I think you're the ones that are the freedom fighters. And honestly, I think that that you either said something or did something, but you had to come out of this, you came out of this dark place with this attitude of enough. We're not going to be lying about things anymore. And now I feel like you're in this energy of being in this sort of dark place where you're sort of going over the self and trying to find your light. I feel like you're going to come out fine. I feel like you really shed light on something that a lot of people didn't know about. And I really think that the Justice card is here saying harmony, that you restored somebody's faith or honesty in you. Like, yes, Gemini is the one that I can go to if I want the honest answer, regardless of how it's going to fall. So the Two of Swords tells me you made a decision. You made that decision with precision. You didn't just make it random, willy-nilly. I feel like with the Two of Swords, it tells me that you decided that you didn't go into the group with the thought of throwing a landmine in and watching it explode. I feel like you went in and thought, if this situation arises, then I'm going to feel it out. And I'm going to feel it out. And if this situation arises, then I'm going to have to say something. It feels like a continuation of yesterday's reading. We've got the Queen of Swords here. Yep, there it is. Honesty, truth. We're going to get things settled here. I'm just going to say it the way it needs to be said, but I'm going to say it honestly and truthfully because I want to restore balance or harmony in the situation. I think it did come off a little bit crass or harsh to some people, but those are the people who don't like the truth. Look, the truth doesn't give a shit if you like the truth. The truth is that, and I think that you spoke it, and the people who are the ones who are clutching their pearls are the ones who just didn't want to hear the truth. And I think that the Ace of Wands is telling me that it was scorched earth. And I think that was the name of the reading. That I feel like you finally did say something, or that somebody finally said something, period. And I think that it balanced the scales. I feel like the King of Swords here is, to me, not only justice, but is the judge, the magistrate, the lawyer. I really feel like this person does all of their homework, right? And gets all of the facts. And they're not trying to cause issues, but they're bringing truth and honesty to a situation that other people were not necessarily seeing the truth and honesty of. And I think that it needed to be said. So I feel like we are in a place now where you're kind of like hunkering down by yourself, but I'm going to say try not to be too hard on yourself. You are finding your light, and yes, maybe this is part of the dark night of the soul for you, that you're finally just saying it, building your boundaries, right? The Queen of Swords is liberating themselves and building boundaries between them and people who just aren't into the truth. I feel like the Ace of Wands tells me, burnt it to the ground, but what prevailed was the truth. I feel like this is the way you're going to be from here on in, that you're not going to go in to ruffle feathers, but you are going to go in to tell the truth. So we have the Two of Wands, we have the Four of Cups, and we have the Queen of Cups. So look, some people are going to reject your truth. The Two of Wands tells me that you planned on saying what you were going to say if the situation arose, and you had to make the quick decision, Two of Swords, to say something after you felt out the situation. I do believe that that there are some people who are going to reject whatever your truth was, or some people are going to be stuck here in the Four of Cups. Some people just want to turn a blind eye and they don't really care what the truth is. I feel like this Queen of Cups here is here because I feel like some people are going to have compassion for you and the way that you said it, and that you did say it, because I think a lot of people were thinking it, but nobody was saying it. I feel like there are going to be people here who truly love you deeply, who really are your friends, who really are your family. And I feel like they see in this harmony. They see that now that it's brought to the surface, now we said something, now this is harmony. Tell me what's around the corner. We've got the Emperor, we've got the Ten of Cups, and we've got the Ten of Wands. So I feel like there is today a heavier feeling within the family, within the soul tribe. It feels like I'm supposed to feel happy, but now I feel like I'm heavily weighted, Elsie, because I said something. But I think that you were the only one that would do it. The Emperor is brave, right? The Emperor is brave, and the Emperor doesn't go in. The Emperor is not going to take 500 men into the fight if they're all going to get slaughtered. The Emperor is a person who's really smart, has wisdom, probably a little bit older, and is going to weigh the odds to make sure that they're not sacrificing the many for the one. And so I feel like you probably did what needed to be done for the family or the Ten of Cups, or hoping that it would release some burdens for people and they could be happier. I still don't know what the subject matter is, but we've got the Ten of Wands here, and then we got the Six of Cups. I really do feel that this goes back to your past, maybe even back to childhood, where people lied to you, where you saw one thing going on and they thought you were stupid enough as a kid that you'd believe it, but you saw another thing going on. And I feel like you are that you're the only person who loved everyone enough to transform the situation. I feel like something had to be said, something had to be done. So I feel like today might be a day where you are feeling badly maybe about the way it all turned out, but I think that you were listening to the universe and going with your gut. I think that it was supposed to be something you were supposed to say. I'm just saying. We've got, because now the whole group knows, right? And I think that it needed to be divulged. We've got Libra, Gemini, Aquarius energy. We've got Aries. We've got Pisces energy. Libra. We've got Sagittarius energy and Aries. We've got Virgo, Leo, and Libra energy. We've got Scorpio on the bottom of the deck. All right. Sorry for those of you who that reading did not resonate with, but it is what it is. And sometimes when I do readings back to back, day to day, they are continuations of energy because the energy hasn't cleared yet. Tell me about Cancer. Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Tell me about Cancer. Tell me about Cancer. We have the Seven of Swords, Cancer. Tell me why. We've got the Wheel of Fortune. It feels like it's now. Yeah, that this, whatever's been hiding, I feel is something that's coming to the surface. The Wheel of Fortune is here. Something is expanding. And I think because the Seven of Swords are here, it's an opinion, it's the truth, it's the thought process, it's somebody who is trying to get away with something. I feel it might be exposed. It feels like with the Wheel of Fortune that it's divine timing. We've got the Five of Cups and not everybody's going to be happy. Whew, okay. Let's take a look here. Three of Cups in the reverse. I don't like that energy. Look, we got 2 cups that are poured out here on the count. No, 3 cups are poured out here on the counter. Wow, look, the 3 of Cups is in the reverse, right? We have somebody here who is standing there with 2 cups. This person is sort of hiding their face on the bar. It feels like the happiness is gone or has poured out. I feel like there's a secret. Yeah, I feel like there's a secret that's coming to the surface in the next 7 days for you here. It feels like it's something that is going to be healing. It is going to heal a situation, but that doesn't necessarily mean everybody's going to like it. And it does feel like that possibly there's going to be people who aren't going to like it. The 3 of Cups in the reverse does indicate there's nothing to celebrate here. This is no more fun. And it's going to break up probably a soul tribe or a group of people. There's going to be people who are going to disagree with whatever is about to show up here. The 5 of Cups and the 3 of Cups is 8. It feels like a breakup where somebody's walking away or someone's decided, look, I'm not settling for this anymore. I'm just finally, time is moving forward and I've got to divulge something here. It feels like there is some sort of a secret or something that's been under the surface that becomes clearer here. Yep, that's the truth. We've got the Hanged Man in the reverse. It's like somebody's come to a realization, an aha moment, or a revelation here. It's like, and it feels victorious. It feels like, that's what it was. Something comes to the surface here or is revealed. We've got the 2 of Wands here. And we've got the Judgment card. Oh, boy. I think that somebody was holding back something under the surface. It feels like they felt deceptive, okay, by holding it under the surface. I don't think anybody's lying to you, but I think you're about to find something out that you maybe weren't quite aware of, but I'm just going to say with the Hanged Man here, it feels like you had a feeling that something was going on. And I feel that that particular thing is divulged because with the Judgment card here, it feels like something is birthed or there's a new cycle that is birthed. There's a big decision that's being made here to tell the truth. And it feels like somebody was planning something under the surface and you're about to figure out, and it's victorious. And I feel like when I'm saying victorious to you, Cancer, I mean like it's confirming your intuition. So maybe it's not necessarily a victory, but I feel it's like, I knew it. I knew that that was going on, but I didn't say anything because then everybody would look at you, Cancer, and say, well, Cancer's the jerk. Cancer's the one that divulged it. But I don't think you are. I think something comes to the surface here. Somebody has sacrificed something, and to me it feels like it is a soul tribe or a group of people, something that is going to make others sad, but it is divine timing. When the Wheel of Fortune's here, it's destiny. It's supposed to happen this way. So if you feel like you're the person who divulged it or had something to do with it, I don't think you did. I think it was going to happen regardless of whatever was going on. It could be something that the Emperor was hiding. So the Emperor can be a boss. The Emperor can be someone who owns a corporation, someone who has the stability, the security, all the money. It feels like the Emperor was keeping a secret. What is this? We've got the Three of Pentacles. Tell me more. Two of Cups. Oh God. I feel like the Emperor was building a foundation with somebody else. You can take that how it is. I don't know who this has to do with. Maybe you do. Take it as it resonates. It does feel like the Emperor was keeping a secret because this person was deepening a bond with someone else in their community or in their kingdom or in their business or at work. That's what it feels like. And now this secret is coming out. The Judgment is here. You can't avoid judgment. You can't avoid the major arcanas. Something is being revealed, and that's the Hanged Man energy. And I think that you are like, I knew it. I knew it, and I wasn't going to say it because then everybody's going to blame it on Cancer. We do have the Seven of Cups in the reverse. Yep. This is so clear, Cancer, that there is just no freaking way that anybody can mistake it for anything but what it is. It looks like an affair. It looks like an affair. It looks like somebody was up to doing something that other people didn't know they were doing. Look, it could have to do with money, but it feels like foundation. I was building a foundation with someone in the Two of Cups. I was deepening a connection, and now it's very clear. It comes out to the surface. So, are you the Emperor? I don't know. Is somebody else the Emperor? Could be somebody that you know, possibly your boss. Okay, you might be going through some sort of really dramatic thing at work in the next 7 days. Tell me what the outcome is here. We've got the Four of Wands. We've got the Eight of Cups. Somebody walks away from the home, walks away from their stability. The Justice card. Oh my God. Justice card and the Justice and Judgment to me. Yes, this could definitely be someone filing for divorce, filing for separation. I think that the Emperor isn't going to be very happy when it's divulged. The Emperor is not divulging it. Somebody else is. Something that was very fishy or something that was in your spidey senses here is something that's coming to the surface here, Cancer. What's around the corner? We've got the King of Wands. We've got the Page of Wands. And we've got the Six of Swords. So the Four of Wands and the Eight of Cups tells me someone is detaching from the Four of Wands, which could be the family home, which could be the stability that they created. Justice here is just that. It does feel to me like it's legal. Something here needs to be worked out. I need to restore stability or restore faith in the situation. It does feel like the Emperor has been caught red-handed here because the King of Wands is here and the Page of Wands is here. So it feels like there's some shenanigans going on under the surface here, that there's like flirtation that turned in, like that stoked the fire and turned from the Page of Wands to the King of Wands. And so now somebody has decided to move in another direction. Yes, Ace of Cups is here. Somebody is going to be admitting that they are in love with another person, and then other people are going to stand up and say, well, what about me? You said the same thing to me. It seems like a bit of a hot mess. And I feel like you were the one on the sidelines watching it happen. I feel like it's happening now because it's supposed to. I don't think you had anything to do with it. You're not the cause of it, but you are watching it go on from the sidelines. I don't know what your place in it is here. We've got Scorpio, Taurus, Aquarius, Leo. This has been going on for a long damn time until finally Sagittarius got involved, and then something expanded here. We've got Gemini energy. We've got Leo, Sagittarius, Aries, Cancer. We've got Virgo and Pisces, Libra. We've got Scorpio energy. Oh, yeah. Isn't Mars floating around somewhere in between here and Scorpio? I don't know. I think that's coming up soon. I'm not an astrologer, but I think I heard something about it. But we do have Pisces energy. That's the reveal here. The reveal of a secret, right? Yeah. Yikes. Okay. That was a little bit dramatic, but it is what it is. I got to read those cards as they arrive. All right. A little bit of this. My throat is just on fire here. My boy came home sick, and now I think I'm getting sick. All right. Let's talk about you, Leo. Oh, my son's a Leo. He's the one that made me sick. All right. Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus and Jupiter. Tell me about Leo. Tell me what's going on for Leo in the next 7 days, please. What do I know about Leo? Tell me about Leo. We've got the Hanged Man. We've got the Hierophant in the reverse. We've got the Queen of Wands. And we've got the Four of Pentacles. The Three of Swords is at the bottom of the deck. What is this? Whew. There's something here that has been held down or held back. It feels like the Queen of Wands has been holding back. You could be the Queen of Wands, right? This is Leo, Sagittarius, Aries energy. The Hierophant in the reverse is the breaking down of a structure, the breaking down of a corporation or an institution. This could be the patriarchy. It feels like something here is breaking down in order to be built up in a different way. I feel like the Three of Swords is telling me that this is really disappointing. Not the High Priestess, but the Hanged Man is here telling me that somebody's going to be sacrificed in this situation. It feels as though there is an intuition that's being confirmed. Your intuition is likely to be confirmed. I think that there's something you know that you've been holding back. It feels like there's something here that's breaking down. This could be your place of work, a corporation, institution. It could be a church. It feels like, let's find out what's going on here. Let's find out what's going on with the Hanged Man. It feels like you were in a pause, maybe not saying anything. It feels like you were holding your breath just a little bit. And the Queen of Wands is just setting the place on fire and letting it burn. I feel like you're watching it burn around you. But listen, you've walked through the hottest fires, right? You're resilient. Tell me about, and that's why I think that this, whatever this is that's falling to pieces, doesn't scare you. Tell me about the Hanged Man. Got the Page of Swords. You are observing it, Leo. We've got the Six of Cups. And we've got the Emperor. Jeez, really? It feels as though... It feels like you are holding back your energy. And it feels like you are holding back from getting involved in something here. There is something that you're observing from a distance that has to do with people that you know. The Emperor is here. There is somebody here who is remaining stoic, or somebody who is very solid usually. Look, the Emperor can be anybody, right? Could be your father, could be you, could be a boss. It is somebody who has accumulated a lot of wealth, they are a person of influence. It feels like you possibly have known this person for a long while because the Six of Cups is here. But it feels like there is something that is going to confirm your intuition. And it feels like the intuition is confirmed when the house falls to the ground. So whatever the Hierophant is, whatever the structure is that is being pulled to the ground, it feels like you are standing back and watching it fall. What is this about? What is this? We have the Page of Pentacles. We have the Queen of Pentacles. An emotional offer. And we have the Devil. Oh boy. All right, one more card. Hang on. The Two of Pentacles. Somebody here has made a decision. It feels like it is a decision that has to do with deep feelings. They're making a decision that is the most compassionate decision that they can make. And from the outside in, it looks like it is super toxic. The Page of Pentacles is an offer, but it's also a messenger. It feels like things are going down in the 3D. So I'm not talking about hearsay. I'm talking about something that's going on in your life. Like, it does feel like there is something that you've been holding back from saying or doing or taking action on, and you've been in a pause, watching from a distance. You've been watching this person who I feel is somebody who is possibly a person of influence, or the person who owns the business you work for. Like, this person is somebody who has accumulated a lot of wealth, property, somebody who I feel has possibly given a love offer to someone, and it feels like it is devil related, codependency, toxic, obsessive. It's a decision that somebody made. What is this? Yep, it's a decision somebody made. Two of Wands is in the reverse. They just jumped in. Look, there was no plan here. Somebody just jumped in, and again, I don't think this is you. I think that you're viewing this from a distance. It feels like somebody who's possibly married or possibly has kids. It feels to me like they're a father or a mother. Whoever they are, they're carrying it all. And they have a lot to lose. And something here is falling to the ground. The empire that they have built is about to be dismantled, and it might be dismantled by you. Like, it might be dismantled by something you know, something you feel. I feel as though your intuition is on point about knowing that something is going on. You've known this person for a really long time, and you didn't want to get involved. You held back. But I think that the Emperor gave a love offer to somebody, and I feel like this person is somebody who this person has a lot of ego. And so I feel like this person might say to other people, well, yeah, it's not you that the Emperor wants, it's me. It almost feels like that. It feels like a bad decision was made here to blurt something out without thinking about it first. Somebody made a decision, and now everything has been released into the ethers here. And I think that something is about to be found out that is going to confirm your suspicions, but it is going to break something down. So I'm going to say, if this is your boss, that this whole thing is going to shut down the place where you work. Like, it feels like something like that. Like, it's quite serious. Somebody who got too big for their britches, or somebody who is doing something behind the scenes that was quite toxic, behind the back of maybe the Queen of Cups. Somebody who's really sweet and kind and caring. Maybe you saw it going on and you weren't saying anything because I'm not getting involved. I feel like something is tumbling to the ground here. We've got the Knight of Wands. We've got the Knight, the Angel of the Night, and the Four of Swords. You know what? It was only a matter of time. I really feel like, Leo, that you saw it happening, but I feel like you had already been through your own dark night of the soul here, and you understood what was going on. I think that you let the Emperor do what the Emperor was going to do without trying to give advice, without trying to warn this person, because I feel like after this Angel of the Night energy coming out here, that you've already been through your dark night of the soul, and you know that everybody needs their lessons, and that you weren't talking anybody in or out of anything. I feel like you decided to stand by, watch the Emperor make their decisions, and very full well knowing that I don't think that this is a situation you'd been through, understand? But I think that when the Angel of the Night shows up, it tells you that a dark time is over. So I don't know what the confusion was or what the devil energy was, but it feels like it was something that was very toxic, that everybody was sort of in the soup, and somebody was stirring the pot. And I think it's the person that the Emperor was made a really bad decision about having an affair, decided that this person, yeah, it feels like that they were seduced. It feels like seduction. It feels like this Emperor was seduced. And it feels like this Emperor ended up giving an offer to somebody here. And the Judgment card tells me that somebody took the offer or decided, yes, I'm going to move forward. I'm going to do a 180 here, but they didn't think about what the repercussions were going to be. And now I think you're watching it all fall to the ground. We've got the Magician. We've got the Two of Cups. Someone manipulated the Emperor's emotional energy. Yep. I feel like somebody here was after the Emperor's money, after the Emperor's time, after the Emperor's empire. It feels like with the Eight of Swords here that the Emperor didn't think about it before they moved. So I don't know how this involves you. Like, it feels like this could be the owner of the business you work for. And if that's the case, then, you know, you might end up being affected by all of this. But I feel like you didn't say anything or didn't do anything because you knew it was only a matter of time before it came out. And you know that everybody needs their lessons. The sun is here. Yikes. Yep, the breakthrough. The sun is here. The star is here. The only way for something to be healed is if it's brought to the surface, right? And that's your energy. And I think you knew that. I think that's what you learned in your dark night of the soul, that unless it's pushed to the surface, unless we can see it, unless there's a breakthrough, there's no way that anything is going to be healed here. And so I think that's why you held back and didn't say anything, because you knew that if it came to the surface, that it had to be healed. There's no other way that this is going to work itself out. If we can't see it, we can't heal it. But I feel like the Three of Swords and the Five of Cups is what everyone else around you needs to go through now. So I don't know what this is, but maybe you could tell me. Maybe it doesn't resonate with you at this time. We've got Aquarius energy. We've got Aries, Virgo, Pisces, Capricorn, Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer, Leo, more Cancer. We've got Capricorn energy. We've got Gemini and Aries. We've got Taurus energy here. Sagittarius energy, Aries, and Pisces energy. All right. All right, Virgo. Let's find out what's going on with you. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Tell me about Virgo for the next 7 days, please. Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Tell me about Virgo. Tell me about Virgo, please. Tell me about Virgo. Virgo, we have the Ten of Cups. This is going to be a good week. This is going to be an emotionally happy week for you. We've got the Knight of Swords because you're about to receive some sort of information, a letter, a document, a call, some sort of communication that is going to make you really happy. It feels like it might be an invitation for some of you. And then we have the King of Wands. It feels like it might be an invitation. This looks like a date. Maybe somebody's going to ask you out, possibly, Virgo, or maybe you're going to ask someone else out. It does feel like whatever it is going to make you emotionally happy. It feels like it is an invitation. If it is an invitation or a date, it feels like it's a group thing. It feels like, come on out with us, come on out for the dinner, come on out for the whatever it is. But it feels like it is an invitation. Somebody's going to be very clear about their intentions with you and what they want. And I feel like you have been thinking, I think this person is like, they have an attraction. Like, I think you are attracted to them, but you weren't sure if they had an attraction to you. I think this is the week that you may find that out if this is about love. But there is something that is... yeah, you're going to get wisdom of something here. There is good news, right? Whether this is romantic or not. We've got the Ace of Wands. We've got the Ten of Wands. I think you've been waiting. It feels like you've been waiting for this. Feels like there was something going on under the surface, maybe a plan. Two of Wands is like somebody was planning to move away from the crossroads. And I think that somebody finally drop the burdens that they were carrying mentally. The King of Swords is here. This is a person who's going to overthink like crazy, right? This is air energy, Libra, Gemini, Aquarius energy. And somebody here was overthinking something and wanted to wait until they had everything in order, all the facts. Somebody here was trying to convince themselves to drop their mental burden. I think this is the week where somebody might admit that they have an interest in you. I don't think that they'll be talking about feelings per se, but an interest and a romantic interest. And I think that they're not going to say it, understand? I feel like you're going to feel it because they're probably, like with the King of Wands in the room, they might do a little bit of light flirting. The King of Wands is not going to go all out, but I feel like you're going to feel this this sizzle, this passion. It feels like, yep, there's an underlying feeling, Two of Swords, that somebody's about to make a decision that involves you. And it feels like somebody's like, come on out, everybody's going out. It's not like they're asking you one-on-one. It feels like they're inviting you to come into a group of people. We have the Four of Pentacles and the Five of Swords. Somebody is going to hold back from making a judgment. It feels like the Five of Swords is a little bit of aggravation, or somebody who likes to stir the pot or say things that other people don't agree with. You might decide, no, maybe that's not what I want to do, holding back because of the Five of Swords. The Lovers is here, though. It feels like you are in a group of people that don't always get along. Question mark is what I'm saying. Is maybe they don't always get along, but it does feel like somebody here is choosing to ask you to come into this group because they want to see you, but they don't want to do it one-on-one. They don't want to look too obvious. So they're inviting you into a group. You know, maybe this person is fighting themselves, fighting their feelings, but they want to make sure that you get an invitation. So look, maybe this person doesn't even contact you directly. Maybe they ask someone else to talk to you, to ask you to come to some sort of person's home, an exciting home party, or maybe it's a cookout, or it feels like somebody wants to get everybody together in their home. And so someone else might be saying, hey, I'm going to the King of Wands place. Do you want to come with me? It could be the King of Wands saying to other people, can you make sure that you invite Virgo? It could be that. This could be feminine or masculine energy. Take it as it resonates for you. It does feel like it is maybe a house party, but it feels like somebody's fighting their feelings. It's like they want to invite you around so they can look you over one more time before they make the decision to say something to you about how they're feeling. Or maybe they just want to flirt with you in a group of people, and they're not exactly sure if they actually want to divulge what they're thinking, because the Two of Swords is here. It's a bit of a block, right? So tell me what the outcome is here. We've got the Three of Swords, because they're still hiding some things that they have not reconciled within themselves just yet. They are the wounded warrior, and they've been hurt before. So I feel like there is somebody who has interest in you. And I feel what they're doing is they're choosing to invite you into a group of people, so it doesn't have to be one-on-one and doesn't have to be weird. They're trying to make a decision, Two of Swords, as to what they're going to do, Two of Wands. That's their plan. They're making a plan. And it feels like somebody here wants to give you attention, right? 4, 5, 6. 6 Wands is Leo energy. It could be a Leo you're dealing with, but it feels like somebody here wants to give you some attention. This person is too scared to do it on their own. They're too scared to be direct with you. Although the Knight of Swords is very direct, I feel this is their way of directly being indirect. So you can do it in a group, and so it doesn't look like then I don't have to leave my soft white underbelly exposed, right? Then I'm not worried about getting hurt, because I feel like there's somebody here in the outcome here who has experienced disappointment, heartache, or heartbreak, and they are the wounded warrior because of it. And I feel like this person is trying to drop that, but they're not quite ready. They're still in this energy of, if I do something, am I going to regret it? Tell me what the outcome is here. We've got the Queen of Wands. So this person sees you as someone who matches them. They see maybe you have a fire placement, possibly, maybe Leo, Sagittarius, or Aries. But it feels like this person sees you as somebody who mirrors them, or that you two are very attracted to each other. It's a physical attraction. And this person enjoys having you in the space because you're beautiful to look at. And I think you feel the same about them, to be honest. I feel like somebody's making a bold move, but making a bold move without having to make the bold move, if that makes sense. The Seven of Swords being here is like it's under the surface. It's a bold move that they're making. They're sending in a messenger to say, hey, invite that person to my place, because I don't want to call them directly, or can you invite them to the party and make sure that they're there? Because they're reassessing the situation. It feels like somebody's holding back, or they're waiting. They want to reassess the situation to see if there's as much chemistry here as they think there is, because right now they are a little bit confused. The moment of alchemy is coming and a decision will be made. Something will be revealed at this party, and I think that this person keeps coming back round is what it feels like. That's the boomerang for me. Somebody who goes out there and they maybe are going out with other people, then they come back around. They're like, can you invite Virgo? I just want to see if we have energy, good energy between us. And I feel like you're going to go because the Eight of Wands is here. I feel like you do get the communication, and I feel like you'll probably say yes. We've got Capricorn energy here. We've got Gemini. Gemini a couple of times here. We've got Libra, Gemini, and Aquarius. We've got Aries, Sagittarius, and Leo. Pisces and Cancer energy. We've got Sagittarian energy here a couple of times, and we've got Pisces. The High Priestess is revealing some sort of a secret. I think you're going to know more after you go to this this next social gathering. All right, Libra. Let's find out what's going on for you. Happy birthday, friends. Happy October. Let's find out what is going on for you, Libra. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. If you've put your birthday in the comments and I haven't gotten back to you yet, September Libras, welcome here and happy birthday to you. Let's talk about our October Libras. Tell me about Libra. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. We've got the Page of Wands. Tell me why the Page of Wands is here. We have the Wheel of Fortune. Something here is moving forward for you, Libra. It is in divine timing. There is a change in something here. It feels like we go from this place of maybe light flirtation to the Eight of Wands. Oh my gosh. And so that's what it feels like. It feels like we go from this place of something that was moving slow and careful and methodical. It feels like all of a sudden there's a burst of energy, because the Wheel of Fortune is also Sagittarian energy, right? But also Scorpio, Taurus, Aquarius, and Leo. So it took a long time to get to this point, but it feels like the next 7 days is a time when things really take off. I feel like we go from the Page of Wands, which is a little tiny bit of light flirting, maybe looking each other in the eye kind of thing, to the Eight of Wands, which is boom, which is forceful, right? And it's because everything is supposed to change this way because it's supposed to, because it's time. I think that things have been moving really slowly up to here, but I feel like it's time for things to move forward into the new cycle. The Wheel of Fortune is card number 10. This is all going to happen, going to go down in October. I feel like you still have a worry that this isn't going to work out. I feel like this person, they probably aren't interested in me. It feels like you are... I feel like what you do have is you're back to the Two Cups. It almost feels like you aren't looking at it because you're so used to being hurt. The three cups are poured out here, right? You're so used to being hurt here. I think that you just automatically assume I'm going to get hurt, but it does feel like maybe you got hurt before because it wasn't time or it wasn't the right person. I'm looking at the Wheel of Fortune being your destiny. So it does feel like this is destined. So I'm going to say that, turn around, bright eyes. That song, who sang that anyway? I don't even remember, it's so long ago. Turn around, bright eyes, turn around, because look, the Two Cups is here. You're missing out on the Two Cups here. Tell me about the Page of Wands, please. We've got the Strength card. So I think you've been holding back. You've been holding back with just a little bit of flirtation. Excuse me, here and there. And I think that now you're like, okay, I've been holding back long enough. I don't think you can hold back anymore is what it feels like. The Six of Swords tells me it's got to move. It's now time for movement. It's got to move. We're in transition. I've got to take this from a place where I've been stuck in my head, in this chaotic place in my head, where I feel like the chaos comes from you holding back and wanting to move forward. And I feel like the Six of Swords is telling me, look, you're already in transition. You're already partway there. Who's saying that? You're already there. You think you're not, but you are. Ooh, boy, the Tower shows up. Look, I don't think you have much of a choice. I'm going to say that because this is destined, Libra, that I feel like everything is about to shift. All you had to do was show the universe that you were willing to get out of your head, Six of Swords, and willing to move to a calmer place in the mind. And once you did that, you notified the universe and said, okay, I think I'm ready to make a move. And so I feel like whatever it is that you're making a move on, look, it doesn't always have to be romantic, right? In fact, I don't see any cups here except the Five of Cups. Whatever this is, I feel like the universe is like, okay, it's go time. The Tower's here, everything shifts. I think you have a shift in your mindset. I think that's why you're in transition or moving forward. I think you finally changed your mind on something or made a decision about something, but you've definitely shifted the mindset here. There's an old, I want to say, why am I doing this? There's an old illusion of the way you were thinking about something. And I think this is the Five of Cups. There's an illusion, and I feel like the illusion's now coming to the ground. That instead of looking at strength as holding back, I feel like now you are looking at strength as having courage. So I feel like you had the courage to get out of your head. And that's why the universe is here throwing the Tower, saying, okay, then that's it. We get to break down or obliterate the old obstacles. And it was a mental obstacle, Libra, that you were dealing with here. We got the Eight of Swords. Yeah, you were stuck in your head. You couldn't make a decision. It felt like you didn't want to. This person is standing on the pumpkin, right? Standing on the pumpkin and scared to take a step left or right, because look, I'm gonna get cut no matter what decision I make. So I might as well make a decision. Something I've always trained my son. My son is 25. I've always said to him since he was a little kid, make a decision. And he is one that was having a hard time making a decision because he's a Taurus moon, and like Taurus moon moves at the speed of snow, right? Like really, really, really slow. And I always said to him, if you don't make the decision, someone will make it for you. I think that this is part of what this is, that you've decided that if you don't make the decision, someone else is going to get the thing that you want. We do have the High Priestess. We could be talking about someone who you see as being very connected to you in a psychic way or an empathic way. There is somebody here who I feel that you are up in your head about, and it could be that maybe you don't trust your intuition. That could be as well. The Eight of Swords is like, I've been overthinking it because I don't really trust my intuition. Tell me about the High Priestess. Also, this could be somebody who is a Pisces, so I was just going to say that, but also could be somebody who you feel very connected to spiritually, because the High Priestess is somebody who's living in the other realm part-time, right? The Ten of Swords is here. I feel like you were in this place of not really trusting your intuition because you've been hurt before or cut before. But I feel like the Ten of Swords tells me that you release it, that you finally release it. And we do have an owl up at the top here. It feels like you change, something transforms. And although the Ten of Swords can be a painful place, it feels like you decide to release the pain. The pain of last time I made the wrong decision and it didn't work out well for me. I think that you are listening to your intuition. I feel like your intuition is breaking through all of these swords. We do have the Devil energy here. It does feel like you're scared that what you might be walking into could be codependency. It could be obsessive codependency. It feels like I feel like you honestly just can't stop thinking about somebody with all these swords and the Devil here. I think that you just can't stop thinking about the person. And I think it's harder for you to be a prisoner of the mind than for you to say it. And so you've come to a place here where I think you've decided, I'm just going to say it because I no longer want to live in this pain in the mind here. So I think that's why the Eight of Wands is here with the Wheel of Fortune, because I feel like you are finally just going to take your shot, is what it feels like here. Tell me about take your shot at whatever it is. It could be a person, place, thing, job, creative project, whatever it is. You're putting yourself out there, and it feels terrifying because that's the energy of the Tower. It feels a little bit terrifying. What's the outcome? We've got the Four of Cups. I feel like you are in a comfort zone here. I feel like you've become comfortable with being in a group energy with this person, possibly. I'm just looking at the way this is all broken up here. We've got 3 cups here, and somebody's sleeping on the 4th. It's like somebody's been trying to offer you their cup, but you've been sleeping on it. But I think that's because you haven't been ready to make your decision. So somebody's trying to give you an offering that is going to make you very happy emotionally, 3 of Cups, on the 4th, right? But I feel like they feel like you've been rejecting them because you haven't been taking their advances, or maybe it's the other way around, like flip it. Maybe it's the other way around, but we do have the 2 of Cups here. It feels like there is a connection here that is deepening because there are 6 cups here. 4 and 2 is 6. It feels like there is a connection here that has been deepening, maybe over the last 6 months or so, possibly. But it does feel like somebody's going to reach out. Yeah, we're going to exchange cups here. It feels like we're going to exchange more emotions. We do have the Knight of Cups. Aw, I love the Knight of Cups. Look, it's so sweet. Sweet, and somebody here has decided on the next time we see each other, 2 and 1 cup in the hand of the Knight is 3. Upon the next reunion, or upon the next time that we have, we see each other again, maybe in the social group. I was saying that already. It feels like with the three cups here and the 1 here, that it feels like that there are feelings here. And so I feel like you're possibly, it could be you that's taking a shot, but it could be someone who's going to take a shot with you in that group setting. It feels like it is a romantic connection here, though. Or something that's taken a very long time. It doesn't always have to be a romantic. It is something that has taken a very long time, because the Knight of Cups is passive energy. I wasn't really sure if I wanted it. I wasn't really sure how I was feeling in the heart space. And then the Tower, once you give this 6 of Swords energy, the Tower's like, okay, we're going to get rid of the obstacles. We've got the Page of Cups. This is something new. It feels like it's good. It feels good. It feels like good news that is coming. Maybe it's shocking or surprising that it happens to you, or that you make this decision to make it happen. We do have the Ace of Cups. Look, I'm trying to go every which way to talk about something other than love, but look at all these cups here. This is very emotional. All of it is very emotional. 4 of Cups, 2 of Cups, Knight of Cups, Ace of Cups, Page of Cups, 5 of Cups. Look, this is all very emotional. I think you're finally getting out of your head and into your heart. It feels like it finally goes from the head to the heart, and it's go time, because the Wheel of Fortune and the Tower are here, and when that happens, this is a major revelation or an awakening. I'm just going to go for it. The Emperor, and I've got to take charge. So you might be the masculine leaning Libra, but you could be feminine as well. If you are the one who is pursuing, you are the Emperor. The Emperor is the one who is going to do the pursuing, because the Emperor is always masculine leaning energy. So somebody who is going to keep it all together, keep it underneath the surface, not really going to tell you, not really going to say it, but it's like sneak attack energy. This Emperor is never going to divulge the plan before I go in with the plan, but the Emperor does tell me that the reason with the Wheel of Fortune that something has been circling, right? It's a wheel, round and round and round. It feels like, because I wasn't really sure, but the Emperor showing up tells me that somebody here is now very sure, whether it's you or them. 7 of Wands is here. And although I feel like you're apprehensive, holding back, feeling very defensive, it's time for you to just stand up with the Ace of Cups in your hand and just say, okay, I see it. I get it. I see it. We've got the Star energy. Because there's somebody here that I feel you cannot stop looking at. The Star is here. If you've got this connection to them that no one else has to them, you feel very connected to them. This person feels like wish fulfillment. I feel like you know that you have to stand up and say something. 2 of Wands is here. I think you've been planning to do that for a while. Page of Pentacles, and there's the offer. 7 of Cups is here. Even though you're still kind of confused about everything that's going on, you're not really sure if this person is going to accept, but I think you're going to go for it. Because when the Tower and the Wheel of Fortune are here together, there's no way that you can stop all of that from falling to the ground. We've got Capricorn energy here. We've got Libra, Gemini, and Aquarius. Of course, we've got the Emperor, who is Aries. We've got Scorpio. We've got Leo, Sagittarius, Aries, Scorpio, Taurus, Aquarius, Leo, Sagittarius is here as well. We've got all of these cups, right? So we've got Scorpio, Pisces, and Cancer energy. All right. Let's talk about you, Scorpio. Tell me about Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus and Jupiter. Scorpio, my throat is sore. I think I'm getting sick. I think my kid got me sick. It is what it is, right? My boss is good with me. I get to nap during the day if I want to. I've got a really great boss. So I know what's going on with you, Scorpio. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus and Jupiter. Tell me about Scorpio. We've got the Six of Cups. We've got the King of Wands. This is someone that you've known for a really long time. This King of Wands is an Aries, a Sagittarius, or a Leo. Feels like you have an emotional connection to this person, or this is somebody who's been in your life for a very long time. We have the Ten of Swords. Why is that? The Hierophant. Oh boy. Okay, it's one of those, is it? It feels like, Scorpio, that this might be someone that you're in a relationship with. This could be somebody that you work with, right? Because Hierophant is not only commitment, but also corporation or institution. This could be somebody that you work with. The king could be somebody who is your superior. But it does feel like this King of Wands here is somebody, oh boy, that you feel betrayed by. It's like you've known this person for a really long time. They know what to expect of you. You know what to expect of them. The Hierophant tells me that this could be a person that you're in a commitment with, whether it's a commitment to a job or a commitment romantically. But this is somebody that I feel that you've known for many, many, many years. Tell me what the Six of Cups is about. I just can't help but feel like you're going to feel betrayed by the king. And you might be in a relationship with the king. King could be Taurus. Something you might find out slowly. It feels like it's about a structure, a business, a company, an institution. It feels like you're going to feel betrayed by that. And you've either been working there for a long time or you've been with this person for a long time. We've got the Six of Swords. This is already in transition here. Something has already started moving. The Emperor is here. The Emperor is Aries. King of Wands is here. This is the person who, the Emperor, I feel, is the one who feels like they're in control of this whole situation. It does feel like this is somebody who might be your partner. Feminine or masculine here. It looks like the Queen of Cups is here. I feel, Scorpio, that you've been very compassionate, kind, loving, and patient with the Emperor. It feels like, I'm just going to say, it does feel like with the Six of Swords here that something has become easier to deal with, maybe. But I just feel like, gosh, it feels like there is going to be some sort of betrayal. And it's already in motion. So if your psychic energy with the Queen of Cups is telling you that something's up, I feel like something's up. I feel like something's up. Tell me what this is. The Emperor could be anybody, right? Could be your father, could be your business partner, could be your somebody who of influence who is in your life, somebody who holds the purse strings for sure, somebody who is somebody who owns land, owns homes, somebody who is making decisions that can affect other people's lives. We've got the King of Swords, and this person speaks. It's a little bit of harsh words. I feel like, you know, the King of Swords is here, and the King of Swords is always the one who is going to... Look, I have a lot of respect for this energy. I'm just, as a Taurus sun, who has no air in their chart besides last life, besides South Node, I feel like I respect this energy, but I feel like you're going to find something out. It feels like somebody's going to speak truthfully and honestly, somebody that you've been trying to be very compassionate with. It feels like it's going to change something or it's going to move something. It feels like it's already in transition. It's already something that you don't know about. It feels like you and this person are very different people. One of you could be someone who lives in swords, who every time you say something, it transitions something, changes something. And the other person could be you, right? The Queen of Cups could be someone who is kind and compassionate, who says things that are truthful and honest, but also says it kinder, softer. We've got the Nine of Swords and the Two of Swords. It does feel like somebody has made a decision in their mind to do something. Somebody here is hiding a decision that they've already made, and I feel like it's something to worry about. Look, just please, please, please understand this is not everybody's reading. If this resonates with you, it may be your reading. But if this is nothing that you've ever come across before in your life, and all of a sudden some rando tarot reader in Canada is telling you that you should worry about whatever's about to be said, and you have nothing going on in your life like this, so you don't even suspect anything, because listen, with the Queen of Cups here, I feel like you suspect something. So if you have no suspicions, then I'm not talking about you. But I feel like if you suspect that there's something underlying that may be in someone's mind that they haven't quite said yet, I feel like you're going to learn about something, a decision that's been made. And I feel like maybe the Nine of Swords energy is a worry, like it's something doesn't feel right to you, like your spidey senses are tingling. Something doesn't feel right to you. It feels like you're going to find out about it. Somebody is going to say something. This is the messenger. Somebody is going to say something. I feel like in the next 7 days, you find something out that maybe you just suspected. You were watching, observing from a distance, but you were observing from a distance. You were observing the Emperor from a distance because, look, this could even be like maybe there's something going on at work. Hierophant, right? Something going on at work that you don't know about, but maybe you suspect something under the surface is going on. Like maybe there's going to be layoffs or something. We've got the Two of Pentacles. We've got the Three of Swords in the reverse. And we've got the Eight of Cups in reverse. We've already talked about this. It feels like this is something we're going to have to revisit. I'm just going to say with the Three of Swords in the reverse, it feels to me like you're not shocked. You're not shocked at this decision. It is something that we're going to visit again, something we've already spoken about, but it feels like somebody is now taking this decision that they've made in the mind, and now they're bringing it into the 3D. I don't think you're going to be shocked, because I think that your intuition is already telling you what I'm telling you. Tell me what the outcome is here, please. We've got the King of Pentacles. We've got the Four of Pentacles and the Six of Wands. It feels to me like somebody's hiding something that has to do with finances. I don't know if that clocks with you, but it feels like somebody's holding back something about money or stability or the house or the home or the bank account or a business, a job. Look, it could be at work. Maybe they've given the position to somebody else and it's not yours and you thought you were the best candidate for it. It feels like a spotlight is going to be put on this. It feels like you will find out whatever is going on probably in the next 7 days for some of you. It's around the corner is Temperance, Justice, and the Seven of Wands. I feel like this is almost a relief. Justice and Temperance makes me feel like this is almost a relief because I think you've been living in the Nine of Swords for a while, Scorpio, that it finally comes to the surface and now you know how to fight it. Now at least that you can see whatever's coming at you, at least you can protect yourself. But I think that there's been something going on under the surface for a while. This could be a relationship we're talking about. Something here has not been being said, but you've been feeling it. It's been tense. So this definitely for some of you could be a good thing, okay? So it doesn't have to be a bad thing. It could definitely be a good thing. It could be something that is going to make you emotionally happy. But for some of you, I feel like it's something that's been under the surface for a while. And I think there's a decision that's coming to the surface, but it's because somebody has kept something from you. And I think that they are not wanting to tell you because they don't know how you're going to react. We've got Pisces energy. We've got Libra, Gemini, and Aquarius. We've got Lots of swords. We've got Sagittarius, Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer, Aries, Leo, Capricorn energy, Taurus and Virgo, Leo, Sagittarius, Aries, Taurus. Right. Sagittarius, fire family, how you doing? Tell me about Sag. It's coming up this week for Sag, the next 7 days, Sagittarius. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Tell me about Sagittarius. We've got the Ace of Wands. Something here is going to excite you. Oh, look at this. We've got the Knight of Cups. We've got the Eight of Swords, Nine of Cups. Look, somebody here who has been holding back. It feels like somebody here who has been up in their head, holding back. It feels like somebody's about to take a leap. A leap into their wish fulfillment is what it looks like here. So I feel like there has been somebody who's been holding back their feelings. Knight of Cups is here. Ace of Wands tells me there's something exciting. A new path is opening. A new passionate path is opening. And I feel like somebody here is about to spill the beans. That's what it feels like. A decision has been made in the 3D. So it's no longer in their mind. They're no longer in their head. I saw the Two of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck. Things are about to speed up. But also somebody feels like they're balanced enough. They've made their decision that they're going to now make it real. And by make it real, I say they're going to say something. Tell me about the Ace of Wands, please. Something's about to get very exciting for you this week. We've got the Six of Cups. You may have known this person for a while, maybe from childhood. Maybe they are a member of your family, but you also could have met them around 6 or 7 months ago, maybe a year ago, possibly. We've got the Nine of Pentacles. And we've got the Ten of Pentacles. Look, you're going from being single to not being single anymore. That's what it feels like. With the Nine of Pentacles is about building something by yourself, having confidence, building your reputation, building your confidence. But it's also about, business ownership. It's about being very confident and doing something on your own and being on your own. It could definitely be about being single, but then it turns into the Ten of Pentacles. And the Ten of Pentacles is a long-term relationship or the long-term thing. So it does feel like either your business is stabilizing itself. Maybe you're a person who's been in business for a while. And if it is you, I feel like your business is about to really stabilize itself. You're about to, if you've ever had a business, that place where you're like grinding, and then all of a sudden, boom, it starts to float itself. I feel like that could be that as well. And it's going to make you incredibly, incredibly happy. Because now you're going to be able to take a little bit of time off, right? A little bit of time off, a little bit time to yourself. We've got the Queen of Pentacles. Yes, something is stabilizing here. So whether that be somebody speaking their emotions or maybe they're not speaking their emotions, because I don't see any swords here. I do see the Eight of Swords here, but it might be somebody who's releasing themselves from the Eight of Swords to be in the Nine of Cups, and the Knight of Cups being here tells me that maybe you might see this person do things that they never did before, Sag, like maybe touch your arm, or maybe tell you that you smell good, or tell you that you look good. It feels like something's about to stabilize here. So I'm going to say don't expect big grand displays of affection, because this person, it's next to the Eight of Swords, so don't expect the big grand displays of affection, but it might be really sweet and kind things. We've got the Four of Swords, and we've got the King of Cups, because this person is an adult. They are mature. Now, for those of you who are looking at this from a business aspect, it does feel like you go from this place of where you've been grinding and building. Maybe you've been doing that for the last 6 months, or possibly more than a year, maybe the last 10 years or the last 9 years, or 9 months. But it feels like something here is stabilizing itself with the Queen of Pentacles energy, and this one pentacle added to the 9, you get the 10. So it does feel like something is coming to a place where now it's real. Now this thing is working. It's floating itself. So whether that's a relationship or a business, or maybe it's the workplace, it feels like something heals itself. The King of Cups is here. It feels like I don't feel like you jump up and down and do the fist bump, right? I feel like you're sort of keeping it under the surface, as the Scorpio would. I am just going to enjoy the flow. If this is a relationship, though, I feel like somebody here has healed themselves from the 8 of Swords, and I feel like this person who is emotionally available and emotionally intelligent has been keeping under the surface that they really have some feelings. So you're going to see this person, their heart chakras popped open here. You're going to see this king, feminine or masculine, somebody who's going to begin to show you a little bit more emotion. So nothing massive, nothing huge, keeping it under the surface, but maybe a little bit more gentle, kind, sweet, romantic, right? One more. We've got the 7 of Swords, because they've been holding everything under the surface up till now. It feels like somebody was scared to show you their feelings, but I think they do have big feelings, because this is Scorpio energy. Scorpio has big feelings. I feel like this person feels very protective around you. So whether they're feminine or masculine, this person has always got one eye on you no matter what they're doing when you're in the room, because they feel like they need to protect you. It does feel like a masculine and feminine energy. You might be someone who has a water or an earth placement, or maybe they do. Outcome, we've got the 4 of Wands. We're celebrating something here, because I feel like somebody here has decided they're going to stop watching from a distance and they're going to actually connect. The stars here. They've realized after watching from a distance that you are the person that they cannot break the connection with. Got somebody here who's got their connection to the stars or to the universe, and on the other end of that string is somebody else, right? I feel like this person feels very connected to you emotionally. They feel very connected to you in a psychic way. Like the star is Aquarius energy, so like they're always thinking about you, and we all know that if you're thinking about them, they're thinking about you. That's kind of scientific. That's quantum entanglement. So I feel like there's going to be something to celebrate here soon, is what it feels like. This person wants to celebrate something with you. Tell me what's around the corner. We've got the 2 of Wands. The plan is being made. There it is. Somebody's taking a risk with the Empress. That's what it looks like here. Whew, you're about to be surprised, friend. Oh my gosh, look at that. You're about to be surprised. I feel like somebody who's been holding everything under the surface here has decided, I just got to drop my whatever this is that I've been holding down here. And I feel like the 10 of Cups is what I don't want to be on the outside looking in. I want the 10 of Cups. I want the 10 of Cups. And although I feel like they're emotionally overwhelmed, I think they're going to do it. So it does feel like you're going to be shocked that somebody here is going to try and deepen the connection with you, but I don't think it's going to be in an overt way, because we've got a lot of cups here. And the 8 of Swords is here. So I think we could be talking about an air sign possibly, or an air sign placement, because we do have Gemini and Aquarius here. So I don't, and 7 of Swords. So I don't feel like it's going to be like overtly huge, but I think you're going to start seeing them being more attentive, paying more attention, being really sweet, pulling out a chair, maybe touching you in a certain way on the arm, or like not grabbing your hand, but, you know, just being very sweet and kind. I feel something is coming here, and I feel like it is the next time you see them. So the 3 of Cups is here. Feels like the next time you have a reunion with them. So whenever you see them next, you're going to notice something different about the way they're handling you here. And I feel like this Empress here is telling me that they see you as somebody who is very sturdy and solid, and they're very attracted to you, that you've attracted this person, I feel. We've got Libra and Taurus. We've got Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer. We've got Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Excuse me. Aquarius energy. We've got Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer energy. Now we've got water energy all over this here. Emotions everywhere. Somebody's about to do or say something here. All right. Capricorn. This is you. Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising. Venus and Jupiter. Tell me about Capricorn. What is coming up this week for Capricorn, the next 7 days? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus and Jupiter. How are you, Cappies, my Earth cousins? I hope you're well. Let's find out what Capricorn needs this week. We've got the 4 of Cups. Ooh, something is pulling you out of your comfort zone this week. Ooh, the Tower is in the reverse here on the bottom of the deck. Look, when the Tower's in the reverse, it looks like something is going to be shifting here. This is your warning. This is your shot in the air. This is your warning. Something is going to be shifting here. Something that felt stuck. It feels like something new, I'm going to say. So if you have been communicating with somebody or you've met somebody new and it's been kind of silent, I feel like the silence breaks. It feels like somebody is going to surprise you with communication. So if you've given them your deets, then of course they're going to surprise you with communication. If you haven't, then I guess they won't. But the Tower is here in the reverse. So it feels like, yeah, this person I feel is somebody who maybe you've been a little bit disconnected from and they've been holding back just a little bit. Why? Because they've been growing something here, or maybe they've been working a lot. But it feels like they've been having intrusive thoughts about, oh God, why haven't I connected with Capricorn in a while? So I feel like the Knight of Swords is telling me that somebody here is just going to say it. They're just going to blurt it out. It feels like they might just show up. Like if they know where you live, they might just say, look, I forgot your number, but I remember dropping you off here. And maybe they knock on your door. For those of you, if they're close enough, they will show up quite likely. But it does feel like it is something that surprises you either way. So whether that comes through a phone call, for me, swords are phone calls. They're not texting. So it could come through a phone call. But we do have the devil energy here. It feels like they're a little bit terrified of a new beginning. I'm just going to say they're terrified that that they have, I think maybe you have doubt. It could be that you have doubt when they show up. I feel like you're in a little bit of doubt, or maybe it looks a little weird to you if they do show up to your home and you don't know them very well. Whatever this is pulling you out of your comfort zone here. We've got the Seven of Wands. We've got the Ten of Wands. And we have the Six of Cups. You know what? I feel like this person reminds you of someone. I feel like you haven't communicated with them or contacted them because they remind you of someone and you're not really sure how you feel about that. It feels like when you are with them or speak with them or when you met them, that it sort of puts you sort of in a place in the back of your head. Like, why do they remind me of this person who put a lot of pressure on me in the past? Why is it? It's like, where do I know this person from? Maybe you've met them before and you're like, where do I know them from? It feels like it's almost a little bit of a defensive reflex, I'm going to say, because the Six of Cups is nostalgia and the Ten of Wands tells me you're carrying heavy memories from the past, which could indicate that maybe you already know this person, but it does feel like they are new, I'm just saying. But I think they remind you of someone, or maybe the situation itself triggers you. Because you've been in this situation before where you had to protect yourself, Seven of Wands, from someone who would just not leave you alone, who just show up at your door. Tell me more about Capricorn. We've got the Six of Pentacles. So you've already had communication with this person. Like, I feel like face-to-face communication. This wouldn't be someone that you met on the apps. This is someone that you've already communicated with, and maybe you felt sort of a connection with. Maybe you've been thinking about them since you saw them last. The Death card is here in the reverse. And so maybe you didn't think that anything would ever come of this. Maybe you just sort of carried on with your life as it is. It feels like when you were speaking with them, they were giving you the same sort of energy that you were giving them. I feel like this Death card in the reverse is telling me that nothing changed, though. Like it feels like you're like, no, but maybe this just isn't the person. It feels like you're avoiding happiness, I want to say. It feels like you have something within you that's scared to go all in. The Death card in the reverse is like, no transformation. I may have to end something before I go into the next thing. It might be this. It might be that there's some heavy memories, or somebody jogs your memory, or maybe you're triggered from the last relationship you had. But it feels like, I hope this person doesn't want me to change, because I'm a really happy person and I love to have people in my house and I love to be social and love to be in big groups of people. Maybe you're hoping that this person doesn't want you to change. Tell me about Death and the Four of Wands. Got the Nine of Pentacles. Why is that? The Ten of Pentacles. Two of Pentacles. So something is definitely going to change in the 3D. So it does feel like you get communication of some sort. It might come through a friend. It doesn't necessarily have to come via this person, but I feel like you know this person in the 3D. So maybe you work with them, you met them in a group of people. It feels like you may have met them at maybe a conference or a place where there is a lot of people speaking about money, time, effort, energy. It feels like somebody here made a decision about you back then, and maybe they're just inquiring as to someone else as to whether you're single or not. You could get some sort of a message from a friend, Page of Cups, saying, this person really likes you. Do you want me to give him your number? Tell me about the outcome here. But I feel like it's something that's way out of your comfort zone. It's maybe you've been single for a while. It could be that. Maybe you've been single for a while and you're not really sure if this is what you want. But it feels like somebody's not letting go of you. They met you in a group of people and they're not letting go of you. We've got the Tower in the reverse. We've got the Six of Wands and we've got the Six of Swords. Tower in the reverse is telling me that there's a big change coming. There's a big shift coming, and that's your warning sign. Your warning sign is that somebody's about to give you a lot of energy, effort, time. Somebody's about to give you a lot of attention. And this person, I feel, has a lot of fire. So take that for what it is, but always remember that there are people out there that fire burns out, so be careful. I feel like you're in the Pentacle energy, but they're in the fire energy. It feels like somebody here, they're already rooting around with your friend group, trying to find your number, figure out where you live, asking questions about you. That's what it feels like here, that they are trying to go to maybe a calmer place so they don't have to look like, they don't want to give you a bunch of attention all at once, because they don't want it to look that type of way. But I feel like somebody here is really attracted to you, that you really have the spotlight when you're around them, so they're very attracted to you. But the Tower's going to fall. The Tower in the reverse is telling me that there is something that's coming up that is going to shift. What is going to shift here? We've got the Seven of Cups. We've got the Eight of Swords and the Ace of Cups. So something here that has been kind of fuzzy or unclear. I feel like you felt that there was a connection between you and this person. Maybe they didn't ask for your number. Maybe you're wondering how they're going to get a connection with you. But it feels like something becomes very clear. This person is opening this clam, oyster, I guess, it's got a pearl. And something, when you really get into getting to know this person, when you really get in deep with them, I think you're going to like them. Yep, I think you're going to take a leap here. Ace of Wands, there is a lot of attraction, and I think this makes you very, very happy. So the thing is I feel like with the Five of Cups in the background here, your intuition is triggered. I feel like you are triggered. That's what this feels like. You're triggered about a past relationship with the King of Wands. If this person comes at you like Six of Wands, they might want to give you a lot of attention, and that might trigger you into a past thing that didn't work out for you. So I feel like you are going to eventually take the leap, but I think it's going to take them slowing down, being patient, letting you make your decisions. But I feel like this person's not letting go of you anytime soon. I'm just saying. All right. Things are about to speed up with them, or they're about to make your life very busy if you let them. We've got Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn energy. We've got Scorpio, Aries. We've got Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer. We've got Aries, Sagittarius, Leo, more Scorpio, Gemini, and Pisces and Cancer energy here. Oh, look at that. The Emperor just showed up. So this person, I think, is going to pursue you, my friend. I think that they are someone who does well for themselves. They're used to getting what they want. They really have checked you out. They see that you're all in these pentacles, solid, grounded, slow, dependable. Somebody who feels like you're very relaxed, very chill, or somebody who's very planned. Like you're not a person who is going to give them all sorts of attention. So I feel like you're attracting them because they're willing to give you the attention if you're not running after them. All right, Aquarius, let's find out what's going on with you, friend. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter, tell me all about Aquarius for the next 7 days, please. Tell me about Aquarius the next 7 days. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Oh, what's this? Okay, start here. With the Three of Cups in the reverse with the Death card, so something here is over. Feels like this is no fun anymore. So I think I'm just going to cut it. I'm going to cut the string. And go out into the future here. Do this, do that. One more card. And we've got the Ten of Pentacles. So I feel like there is something here that is over. I want to say that it was no more fun. And when it becomes no more fun, you decided to just cut the last string. The Three of Wands is here, and I feel like you're looking forward. You're looking forward into the future, into something that is going to be very abundant. For some of you, this Ten of Pentacles could mean a long-term relationship, but I think you're just looking for something long-term in general. This could be work. This could be better health. This could be better mental health. This could be, now that this is finally, this chapter is closed here and you finally let go of it, or it's gone, or it's dead. I feel like now you can focus on your abundance, or whatever is going to make you abundant. Maybe it's a health matter. Maybe it's a money matter. Maybe it's property. Maybe it's a long-term relationship. Tell me about the Death card. What is this? We've got the Seven of Pentacles. We've got the Six of Wands. And we've got the King of Wands. So you're inspired to wait or to hold back until at which time you get to a place where you feel more stable. The Six of Wands is coming out of the fight or the war and going back home, getting a lot of attention, a lot of people around you saying, hey, how you doing? Haven't seen you in a while. Maybe you're going back home. I don't know what that means. Maybe it's from another state, another city. Maybe it's from across the world. It feels like it's you're longing for home, but I feel like you are waiting until you feel inspired to go back home. It does feel like it might be because of money matters for some of you, that you are looking into the future, maybe looking at your finances, looking into money matters, but I feel like you are feeling inspired to possibly go back home. But it also feels like it is, it's a little bit of a protective thing. I'm trying to, yeah, I feel like it almost feels like you're going home to lick your wounds. I'm just going to say. And so I don't know what that means, going home. It could be like a place that is your home, like to your house. It could be from another country, from one country to another, from one province to another, across the country. But it feels like going back to your people, whoever knows you, because I think this could be family as well. Tell me about this. We've got Chariot, yeah. We've got the Two of Pentacles. It's a decision that you've already made, and I think that it makes you really happy. And I mean, really happy is subjective, but the Page of Pentacles is good news. So I think that you feel good in the heart space about doing it. I think the decision has already been made. It does feel like it's because of you need to regroup. So whether that's regrouping financially or regrouping on your health, it feels like you are getting in the Chariot and trying to discipline yourself financially, discipline your health. It feels like whatever it is, it feels like something needs to come into balance here because the Chariot and the Two of Pentacles are here. Two of Pentacles is looking for me like it's more of a decision you're finally making and putting into action in the 3D, into the action in the 3D with the King of Wands here. It does feel like you are finally moving forward away from somewhere where you've ended a chapter in your life here, or ended a relationship. Three of Cups is here. Tell me about the Page. We've got the Four of Pentacles. Why is the Four of Pentacles here? We've got the World card and the Knight of Wands in the reverse. It does feel like you are leaving something unfinished, but you're holding back from it. It's like you don't want it anymore, but you're leaving it unfinished. I don't have the energy to do it. The Knight of Wands is in the reverse. I don't have the energy to look at it. I'm just going to keep everything in my pocket. I'm just going to hold back. I know that I left it unfinished, but I just need to go home and collect myself. It feels like I need to go back to where my people are, and I just need to collect myself after whatever this is that ended here. It ended up in the Three of Cups in the reverse, which is I'm not having any fun here anymore. There's no celebration. It also could be that maybe you were partying too much. Maybe you were having too many social moments. Maybe it's time to clean out the system. Your health, I'm going to say, might have been affected by too much travel, too many eating out nights, too much partying, too much being with people, socializing kind of thing. Tell me what the outcome is here. We've got the Five of Wands. We've got the Page of Pentacles and the Judgment card. You're being called somewhere. You're being called to begin something somewhere else. It feels like you are being called to plant a pentacle or build a foundation somewhere else, wherever that somewhere else is. I feel like wherever it is, it feels like home, or wherever you lay your hat, that's where home is, right? The Five of Wands tells me that you still have a little bit of apprehension. It feels like you are holding back and you're in a bit of a tug of war with yourself as to whether you want to go home. Maybe you have kids. Maybe you want to see the kids. It feels like, I don't think that they're little kids. It feels like they're probably grown children because the Judgment card is here. But it also feels like this Judgment card tells me you finally finalize the decision. Judgment and Death card. You finalize the decision, and it's definitely good. I think it's time to go. I don't have the energy to deal with closing the door like any finalities here. So I think that you're leaving some windows and doors open somewhere. Maybe you still have the balance on a lease. Maybe you still have the balance on the lease on a car. It feels like there's some things that are undone yet. There's some doors and windows that are still open, but I think that you are going back home or wherever your people are, wherever you feel most stable, and maybe you'll do the rest of this from a distance. We've got the Ten of Cups. Yeah, it does feel like you're going back home to heal your heart. The Five of Swords is here. It does feel like you've been through a bit of a battle, I'm going to say, like a mental battle. It doesn't feel like it's a physical battle, but it feels like it's a mental battle about making a decision to go back home again, or to steady yourself, steady your money, discipline your finances, stop traveling for a little bit. The Three of Swords is I feel like you have endured heartbreak or disappointment. I think that there was something here that you thought was going to work out to be the Ten of Cups, but with the Three of Swords here, I feel like it didn't work out. And I feel like now you're sort of in this place. I think that the reason it didn't work out is because of fundamental differences. Maybe, fundamental differences. Maybe you were different religions. Maybe you wanted kids and they didn't. They wanted kids, you didn't. It feels like something that was long and enduring, maybe a long-term relationship, or maybe you were posted abroad to a business or through work. It feels like something, a relationship or a bond we had or something that was making me happy is no longer making me happy, and so it's time to go. And it's heartbreaking, but I feel like you're overthinking it here. Eight of Swords. We've got the Nine of Pentacles, but you're confident that this is the right thing to do, that everything is turning. I think you're listening, I'm going to say, Aquarius. I think you're doing the right thing. And the Wheel of Fortune, of course, is destiny. It's things have to change. And I feel like what's changed here is you were in something that maybe you thought was going to be long-term, whether it's a job or a person, and it feels like now you've become single. Now you've actually are running a business instead of working for a company, or now you are single instead of being in a long-term relationship. But something here has changed in terms of wherever you're putting your commitment, and you were giving someone and they weren't giving enough back to you, and I think that ended up being a place where they were codependent on you, or it turned a little bit toxic. So it feels like it was a commitment of some sort, whether that's work or a place. It feels like you're finally leaving there and going back home, whatever that means to you. But I do feel like you're leaving the door open, like we haven't really said goodbye, or we haven't really, I haven't really signed the contract that said I'm out at this date. It feels like you've left it open because you're not necessarily sure about all the details yet. We've got Scorpio, Taurus, Aquarius, Leo, and Sagittarius. We've got Cancer energy, Aries, Sagittarius, Leo, Taurus, Pisces, Virgo, Pisces, Scorpio, and Cancer and Taurus here. It feels like you're not going back. Like, I'm going to say that if you leave wherever you're going, you're not going back. With the Hierophant here, you're digging your heels in, you're taking your path. I'm never going to go back there again. So I think it's done. So I think that's why with the World card in the reverse, that you're probably going to take care of the details from a distance about how I close this out. All right, here we go. My two fishes friends, my water family, how you doing? Let's find out what's going on for you, Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Tell me about Pisces the next 7 days. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Tell me about Pisces, please. We've got the Seven of Cups. We've got the Eight of Pentacles. I think you're working on getting some sort of clarity. It feels like you're sort of confused about something here. Something is up in the air, and I think that you are trying to sort out your feelings about something, Pisces. How do you feel about it? We've got the Queen of Cups in the reverse. It feels like you are purging emotions, I'm going to say. Purging emotions makes me feel like possibly you are crying, or I feel like you're really trying to figure out how you feel about something. You're going over the analytics. You're trying to put a lot of work into dispelling the confusion that you have over how you feel about something. And I think that it's a really emotional process for you with the Queen of Cups in the reverse. I feel like you're relying on the Eight of Pentacles because you're not listening to your intuition at this time. It's like, well, I listened to my intuition, Elsie, and it just got me in this place where now I'm upset, and it feels like that. Like I feel like you're mad at me. That's what it feels like. You're mad at me. But I feel like with the Eight of Pentacles that I feel like you worked really hard on something that possibly you don't have an answer for now. It's like I put a lot of time, effort, and energy into this, and I really don't know what's going on still. Like it feels like that. We've got the Three of Wands. Maybe I'll just move on. Maybe I should just move on and go into the future. And I think that you have decided you're just going to leave something behind, because no matter how hard you work on it, it feels like it's confusing. I still don't have an answer. The Three of Wands tells me, though, there's so much out there. Like there's, you know, when I get into the comments and I see people who have been waiting on some person for 3, 5, 10, 20 years, I'm like, look, y'all, there's how many billions of people in the world? Why are you stuck on one? Like, you're keeping yourself stuck there. I feel like you're not, though, Pisces, I'm going to say. I feel like the Three of Wands being here tells me that the door opens for you and says, look at everything that is in the future for you. You have so many options, opportunities, being spoiled for choice. This is not emotional confusion. This is maybe the options or opportunities that are showing up for you that are emotional. Maybe you don't want them. And maybe it's because you're in the Queen of Cups energy in the reverse. So I'm going to say wait, right? Wait. Hold back just a little bit. Wait. And maybe just don't make any decisions right now. Maybe just go over the details of something. Get the analytics. Wait until the answer comes and you are not feeling this way when the answer comes with the Queen of Cups in the reverse. Because the Queen of Cups in the reverse is emotionally depleted. I feel like you've put your time, energy, and effort into something and you didn't get the answer that you wanted, or you didn't get the effort back that you wanted. Tell me about the Seven of Cups. We've got the Five of Cups. Yeah, it does feel like it's making you very sad, but I feel like you're like, yeah, there are a bunch of people in the DMs, but I don't want any of those people. I want this one. But look, there's billions of people in the world, and maybe the one that you want is not supposed to be the one you're supposed to be with. And that's the thing. That's why you shouldn't waste your time 20 years waiting for a person, right? We've got the Two of Pentacles. And we've got the Four of Wands. So it does feel like you're... I feel like as we go on into the week in the next 7 days, it does feel like you do stabilize your emotions, I'm going to say. But I do feel like there is something that you're very focused on that you've lost, or you feel regretful that something didn't work out the way that you wanted. It feels like there is the Two of Pentacles, and the Two of Pentacles is trying to get balance, or trying to balance things, trying to organize things. I feel like you do come back to an emotional stability of some sort, but it doesn't lessen how you feel about it. I still think that you're feeling sad about something that didn't work out. Is what it feels like here. Trying to look into the future and being hopeful here. You're stuck at the Two of Wands here. And I feel like there is, the Two of Wands, of course, is the place where we're sort of doing planning. I think that you had planned on something lasting for a longer amount of time than it did. I think that you thought that something was deepening here. You thought the connection was deepening. You thought that the job was appreciating you more, or seeing your value more, because the Ten of Cups is here. It feels like there's a plan going on, or that maybe you're starting to feel stuck there. And maybe you want to go, maybe you want to get out of this energy, but it does feel like, I feel like you feel a little bit like you're now there and you're settling. Yeah, Three of Swords is here. Like you're settling for it. You're not necessarily happy there anymore. The Queen of Cups being in the reverse. I think you're trying to make a plan to look at where you want to go from here, Pisces. Where do I really want to go from here? What's really going to make me feel better, right? The Ten of Pentacles can be about your health. It can be about your wealth, your money, your property, your time, energy, and effort that you put into something. And I feel like you're at this place like, well, everything is stalled out. Nothing is happening here for me. Nobody's making a decision about me. Nobody's taking action. And I'm ready for something long term. And I thought that this connection was deepening here. It feels like nobody's taking action, but you're ready to deepen the connection, ready to deepen your commitment to maybe the workplace or to this Ten of Pentacles, whatever it is that you wanted to last for a really long time. What is this? We've got the Ace of Wands, the Six of Cups, and the Chariot. Wow. Look, I think that just as you think that everything is over, it's not. That's what it feels like. I feel like you have resigned yourself to the fact that nobody's taking action, that this is going to stay stuck because the Two of Wands is here. Somebody is just going to stay stuck. And that I'm just going to have to carry on to my abundance all by myself, even though I thought that this connection was deepening. I thought that they saw my worth. I thought that the workplace saw my worth. I thought that the person I had my eye on had their eye on me. I think that just when you think it's not happening, I think it starts to move. Because I think you're right. I think there is somebody here who does have attraction for you. The Six of Cups tells me that this person feels very connected to you and that things are going to move forward, but I think you're becoming impatient. The Chariot is here. And it feels like, I feel like you just need to balance things. I feel like somebody's been keeping their feelings under the surface. And yeah, they see you as the unicorn. They love spending time with you. They feel like you are somebody who, yeah, I'm looking at Aladdin and the person on the carpet. It's like they see the Disney ending with you. There's a unicorn on here. It's like a unique memory you have with them. Unique memories. It feels like you inspire somebody here. You inspire them to move forward, but they're in a little bit of indecision. So I feel like there is somebody here who does want to move forward, and I think that they will, but Chariot, right? Chariot is moving very quickly, but this here energy is like, it feels like you think something is done, or, okay, fine, I thought I had my eye on them and we were deepening this connection, or they saw my worth, and I don't think they have. I think you're wrong. I think that they do. Three of Swords is here. I feel like you think that, okay, you're already in heartbreak mode. Five of Cups, Three of Swords. You're already here like, okay, well, I guess they don't want me. But I don't think that that's what it is. I think that you're upset or not listening to your intuition. Tell me what the outcome is here. We've got the Eight of Wands. Look at that. And the Fool. And the Eight of Swords. I feel like this person is just overthinking the whole situation, but they're about to say something. The Fool is here with the Eight of Wands. They're going to take their shot and they're going to take a leap of faith. But I think that you already think it's over because this person is not taking action. It feels like at the Two of Wands that they're stuck here. And you're ready to move forward, but they're at the Two of Wands and you're already at the Three of Wands. You're ahead of them, is what it feels like. You've already made a decision that this isn't going to work out. This person has decided they're just going to break my heart. It's probably a good thing. Like, you're telling all yourself all the things, right? And that's fine. But it feels like you're going to be surprised when this person shows up out of nowhere here, because I feel like they don't, it feels like that they were maybe in the process of detaching from overthinking. Is what it feels like with the Eight of Swords here. Somebody here, you might be dealing with an air sign, or somebody who is moving really slowly because they could be an earth sign. And the Strength card. So somebody here is trying to gain their courage, and it takes them a long time to gain their courage. So you think it's over. They're still in the midst of trying to gain their courage and get out of their head so they can take a shot at you with the Fool. One more card. Queen of Pentacles. You two belong together. You two are mirroring each other. The Knight of Cups is in the reverse. sorry, Page of Cups is in the reverse. I feel like this person isn't about just jumping out and blurting it out. I feel like they don't want to surprise you. They want to take it slowly. That they do have, look at that. It feels like there is a spark here with the Page, and it feels like the Ace of Cups is here, but they don't want to spring it on you. This person moves really slowly, and they thought that you were a person who wanted to move really slowly too. But honestly, they're in their head. They're going to take a shot at you. The Fool is here. The new chapter's coming up. Look, we have a full moon on the 4th. And the new moon is on the 21st. So this could still happen in the month of October. Maybe it's not going to happen next week, but in the next 7 days. But it feels like somebody here is gaining momentum, or with the Strength card here, gaining momentum to move, right? Strength card, finding the courage to move forward and actually put some energy into it and save the situation. So we have Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer energy here. We got Aries, Virgo. We've got Taurus energy, Cancer. We've got Libra. What else do we have? Aries, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, Leo energy, Pisces. Look, everybody's here. I'm just going to say, yeah. I'm just going to leave that right there. Thank you so much for being here and watching. I do appreciate you. I'm going to go for now, but I'll be back because I'm always back. I'm going to go rest this throat. Y'all, I think I'm getting sick. Don't feel bad for me. I'm just kidding. Like, I'm not kidding that I'm getting sick, but don't feel bad for me because I make my own hours, right? It's all good. You guys take care of yourselves and be well. Bye-bye.